How's it going, guys? Mike here, and welcome to my October monthly rundown of all the anime I've been watching, manga I've been reading, and the few games I've been playing. First of all, I'm going to talk about all the manga I've been reading, and I'm going to start with this because it's quite short and sweet. I've not been reading a lot of manga this month. I've been very busy with both these channels. Been putting extra videos up. I managed to get some time off work, so I've been doing double uploads. But because it was the spooky season, what I did manage to start reading was Junji Ito's Tomie, as well as Mirakachan. So if you weren't already familiar with Junji Ito's Tomie, it's basically a story about a femme fatale who starts driving people to the point of insanity where they start committing heinous acts and people start dying and such. And yeah, the story behind it is really great. The way the reason her spirit is so vengeful and all that, you've just got to read it for yourself. I don't want to spoil it. And then we get on to Mirakachan. Mirakachan is currently airing as an anime this season. I'll get onto that in a bit when I talk about the anime I've been watching, but I also managed to pick up the first volume of the manga, and it's been great so far. Honestly, it's a horror comedy. Some of this stuff is really terrifying, the drawings in this, but the story overall is quite funny. It's basically about a girl who can see spirits, and her way of coping with that, instead of tackling them or trying to do anything about it, is just purely by ignoring them. Really fun read if you haven't read it already, or if you can't get your hands on the manga, definitely watch the anime that is currently airing of it. It's just as fantastic, it's very faithful. The first 3 episodes do cover this first volume, and yeah, it's been great so far, definitely worth a read. Now onto the anime I've been watching, and I'll talk about currently the finished anime that happened was Fena Pirate Princess. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, I'll leave a link right here or over here, maybe one of these. You will see a pop-up if you've got annotations on. Yeah, it was a great show. The finale was a bit, I wouldn't say it was bad, it just dumped a lot of new stuff on us so suddenly. I don't know if they were really positive about season 2 that they did that, but if there's not going to be a season 2, I'm a bit worried, because they kind of just flipped the whole series on its head in the last 2 episodes, but we'll see how we go. Like I said, if you want to hear my thoughts on that finale, I'll put a link to my video. And the other anime I watched and completed, which was quite controversial to say the least, was High Guardian Spice. And High Guardian Spice is a extremely controversial anime in the fact that it is not really an anime. Yeah, it's been really pushed by Crunchyroll. It is a Crunchyroll original. It was delayed. It's been delayed for like 2 years now, and it finally came out to some really, I'd say, I wouldn't even say mixed bag reviews. It's been very negative on the whole, which is, you know, it's no surprise really. If you want to hear my thoughts on that, the video I made currently hit 2,000 views, which is great for my channel. So yeah, join the discussion, watch the video, leave your thoughts on what you thought about High Guardian Spice if you've watched it. If you haven't watched it, what are your opinions on non-anime being on Crunchyroll? I've been talking about currently airing anime. I've actually been quite good recently. I've managed to be watching anime every single day. I've got a good rota going on of new seasonal anime, and it's actually been really good this season. That's why normally I don't watch too much seasonal anime, just 1 or 2 shows, but this season actually seems to be doing really, really well. So on Mondays I'm currently watching The Fruit of Evolution. It's got about 4 episodes out at the moment, I think. It's about a story of a rather unattractive, quite chubby high school student. He's not doing very well at school, and then suddenly this mysterious voice appears over the tannoy and tells all the students in his class they are going to be isekai to another world. So pretty generic already, but hold on. So this student gets isekai to another world, and he's on his own as opposed to the others who are still in their group, and he finds these things called the Fruit of Evolution, and he kind of steals these from a bunch of monkeys, and he starts leveling up, and then he reaches max level of what is achieved for a human. Long story short, he finds a waifu gorilla, which is, it's really odd, it's really out there, but trust me, it's not bad. I've really noticed after the, unfortunately the waifu gorilla does not stay a gorilla forever, which is unfortunate. She does turn into a girl eventually, and I have felt the show has gone a little downhill since then. It's turned very, very generic. I thought it was good the first 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes while she was still a gorilla, because it was so different to what we're used to for an isekai. However, it's now just turned very generic, so I don't think I'll drop it. I'll see the 12 episodes out. I think it's 12 episodes. But yeah, it's not the best, so I would give it a miss unless you really like your isekai. Tuesdays we are watching Takt OP Destiny, which if you'd watched my last month's review, if you haven't, go check it out. Yeah, loving Takt OP Destiny so far. It's been an amazing show. Really just unique, this Mappa Madhouse collaboration. Great interesting story. If you're not already watching Takt OP Destiny, you are doing yourself an injustice. Check it out now. There's quite a few episodes out now. I think there's about 5 or 6 as of recording this video. Give it a watch. It's just so unique. It's an experience. I think it's definitely going to be my anime of the season. So then when we get to Wednesdays, I'm watching an anime called The World's Finest Assassin is Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat. I think that's what it is. It's one of those isekais with a page-long name. But actually this one's quite good. So I'm not normally an isekai fan myself. It usually takes something quite interesting to grab my attention. This is definitely one of those. It really flips the whole isekai genre, not really on its head, but it takes what we know and love about isekai, but it just really makes it so unique and makes it so... It explains things a lot better than most isekai do. So basically, the premise is, well, you can tell from the title, there's this legendary assassin from our world, and he wants to retire. However, that does not go to plan. He ends up getting isekai to another world, and it kind of explains why our main protagonist, when he gets reincarnated, is so overpowered. Is because in his former life he was the world's best assassin. You know, there's a reason why he's not just some kid who got hit by a truck and then was apparently the best hero in the whole of the world. And what I also like about this isekai is that he is not really the hero in a sense. His job is actually to go and kill the hero of this isekai world, because apparently there's some prophecy that once the hero's defeated the demon lord, which is, you know, the generic isekai part, the world goes to ruin after that. Our world's finest assassin is hired by a goddess to go and eliminate this hero. So yeah, it's actually a really interesting premise. It's very different to what we're used to from isekai. Definitely worth a watch. There's not too many episodes out at the moment, I don't think, about 4. But yeah, I would give it, if you like your isekai, it's definitely something a little different and it's very good. And then on Thursdays I'm watching Komi Can't Communicate, which I'm sure if you haven't heard of it, you must be living under a rock. It's a massive series at the moment. It was adapted from a manga, which apparently was very popular. I hadn't heard of it, but I see it selling everywhere on Amazon and various other places, so it must be. Currently 2 episodes out on Netflix as I'm watching this. It's pretty good. Basically tackles a girl who has social problems, and the whole point is obviously Komi Can't Communicate, that is the name of the anime, but she really can't. She really suffers from social anxiety, but her goal is to make 100 friends. So one of her classmates is trying to help her to achieve that goal. Obviously it's quite cutesy in places, but it also really gets emotional in certain places, because it is, at the end of the day, about social anxiety. It's a very big issue that affects many people. It's a very good watch. Then also on a Thursday I'm watching Aquatope on the White Sand. I'm currently not up to date with this one, because when I did decide to start watching some seasonal anime, it was about 15 episodes in, but I am catching up with it, and it's very interesting. I don't really know what to classify it as. I wanted to say slice of life, but I suppose it's not as cutesy as normal slice of life. The main premise of this is a story about this girl. I think she was previously an idol or a singer or something. I think she was an idol, and she wanted to escape that life, and then she was supposed to come home, and then instead of doing that she goes to Okinawa, and then long story short, through various events and stuff, she ends up working for an aquarium, which sounds really weird, but honestly this has been one of my surprise anime of the season so far. I had no expectations going into this. I don't know why I started watching it. It was just kind of on a whim. It looked different from all the 100 isekai we have, so I thought I'd give it a go, and I've been pleasantly surprised. You should definitely give it a watch. It's just basically about this story of an aquarium. It's kind of going under, and they need funding, and this ex-idol has obviously now joined the team. He's trying to... So there's like 2 stories going on. There's the story of the aquarium and it's struggling with money, and then the story of this ex-idol who's now joined the aquarium, trying to just get away from the expectations of her family. And it's really emotional in parts, but it's also quite fun. So yeah, it's sort of like a slice of life, but it's just such a real anime. Then on Fridays I'm watching Platinum End, which is a very big anime this season. It's very in contention with me with Takt OP Destiny for potentially my favourite anime of the season. Depends where they end, of course. It depends what the endings are like, but so far they're pretty much on equal terms for me. If you didn't know, this is from the creators of Death Note, so very similar vibes going on. A story about a teenager who does try to kill himself at the start, however he is saved by an angel, and then he is brought into this sort of competition, if you were. Basically, a group of people who have tried to kill themselves have been picked to become candidates to become the next god, because something's happened to the old god and now they need to find a new one. So with the help of their angels and various abilities, they have got to win over the favour, obviously, to see who will become the next god. It's very interesting, it's very hard to explain if you can't tell. If you like Death Note, it's a classic, you're going to like this. And the other show I'm watching on a Friday is Restaurant to Another World Season 2. If you watch Season 1, it's more of the same. It's basically, there's a door which takes you to this restaurant, and the door appears in hundreds and hundreds of different worlds, typical fantasy worlds, and people of all sorts of races and such come in and eat delicious food. It's a bit like Food Wars mixed with a isekai, but not so much of the shonen aspect, just so much of more relaxing sort of feel-good anime. On Saturdays I'm watching The Great Jahi Will Not Be Defeated, and this is actually quite good. It's sort of a reverse isekai similar to The Devil is a Part-Time, and if you'd watched that a couple of years ago, basically about the right hand of the demon lord sent into the human world, and she's obviously struggling with real life aspects of, you know, paying rent and going to a job and such things that she's never had to do before. Very fun. Actually quite surprised how much I enjoy this, to be honest. It's very fun, very, like I say, if you like Devil as a Part-Timer, which is a cool flip on an isekai, you'll enjoy Jahy. And then on Sundays I'm watching Mirakachan, which I've already mentioned previously in this video. You already know the premise, I've already told you if you'd come this far. A girl who can see spirits and she ignores them, horror comedy, it's great, you should definitely watch this, it's a great anime this season. I'm also watching a short series called Ganbare Dokichan, and it is, I think it's made by a doujin writer, or it's made by a hentai producer, which is interesting, but it's just like a short, I think the episodes are only probably about 5 minutes long, about an office worker who has a crush on another office worker, and there's this third girl who is a junior and she's trying to steal him away. It's just kind of fun, kind of, you know, the cutesy, you like someone but, you know, you're always awkward about it. Yeah, just fun. If you've got time and you don't want an overly long series to watch, 5-minute episodes, like I say, really fun, just something quick and easy if you've not got a lot of time. And then the last thing I'm watching on Sundays is catching up with the Demon Slayer Mugen train arc. I've already seen the movie, so yeah, nothing new, apart from the first episode was new clips, which I really did appreciate from them, that they did a prequel to the Mugen Train arc. However, the next few episodes now is just recap, so if you have seen the film, probably give it a miss. Personally for me, I'm watching it just because it's been a little bit since I saw the film. I just wanted to re-familiarise myself, ready for, I think it's the District arc. So looking forward to that. I haven't read ahead of the manga, my manga got delayed. I was going to do a video on me unboxing that, but looks like that's going to be more December time. And then finally, I just wanted to touch upon gaming. If you didn't already know, I have a separate gaming channel. I will put a link to it right now in a pop-up, and I'll probably put it in the description as well. Currently we've been playing Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. Great support on those two videos. You guys seem to have been loving it so much, and I've been loving playing it. Very hard games, but you know, you get a few good laughs out of it. And because it was the spooky season, I decided to pick up Project Zero, or Fatal Frame if you're from America, Maiden of Blackwater. Komi decided to remaster this game. I think it was a Wii U game a couple years ago, and they've remastered it now. Really up the graphics, it really does look a good game. I've never played a Fatal Frame before, never played a Project Zero, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this was a very new experience for me, and I am actually really enjoying it. It's a cool premise that you use the camera obscura, and the way that you fight spirits is by taking pictures, and it is, you know, it's a lot more exciting than what I'm explaining it as. But yeah, if you're familiar with the season, definitely pick this up, because I think it has been made clear by Komi that they're trying to get some more interest back into the Fatal Frame series. It's never really been a mainstream series. It's never done as well as things like Silent Hill and Resident Evil. So if you definitely get the chance, you've got a bit of money. I don't think it's like quote unquote full price game. I think they're charging $25, $30 maybe, so it's about half the price of what new AAA games are at the moment. But definitely, if you want to support the series, definitely pick it up, because I think they've said if this remaster doesn't do so well, they're probably not going to continue with the Fatal Frame series, which would be a shame, because to a lot of people it's a series that means a lot. Even if you're not really into horror, it is a very, very fun game, very different game. It's very unique in its style, and so I definitely support. Try and pick the game up if you can. I know it's a big ask to ask someone to keep buying games over time, but yeah, if this game does well, hopefully we'll see some remasters of the original and Fatal Frame 2, which I know is a very popular one among people, and hopefully we get a big HD collection, and maybe they make a more newer Fatal Frame game, hopefully for consoles, because obviously what this one, I wouldn't say suffers, but it's very clear that it was on a handheld game console. But if we get like a full AAA experience of a Fatal Frame on consoles on the PlayStation 5, I think it'll do massive, and it'll probably reignite the series for a lot of people. Anyway guys, I thank you for watching this October rundown, and I'll see you next time.